Good afternoon. Today we're going to ask the important question, is there any point in still using videos? With me here today I have Josh Bridger, who's an expert on videos and all things VHS. So Josh, is there any point in still using videos?
Hi, I'm Josh. Yes, there is still a point of people still using videos, because the reason is because the price of DVD recorders nowadays, people still love to use the old VHS analog sound, and of course the analog picture. But the other thing with videos is because video is much easier to use than DVD. The reason is because when you go to put a disc into your DVD recorder, you have to sit and wait for the thing to load. Of course, with video VHS, all you have to do is turn the VCR on, push the tape in, and then once you push the tape in, you're ready to start recording.
Okay, Josh, you argue that VHS is easier to use than DVD, but I don't agree. I think when you put the DVD into the player, you can very quickly get to the scene you want. For example, the other day I was trying to watch a film of The Godfather, and I had already seen the first bit, but my partner had rewound the DVD to the start, so I had to wait about 15 minutes while my video recorder got back to that point. What can you say about that? Hasn't technology moved on? Shouldn't we get rid of the VHS and start using DVDs?
The reason is why people still want VHS is because a lot of these old films have never been released on DVD. Also, because the companies are arguing with the DVD companies, and they're saying we're not going to release them on DVD because the other thing is people still want to buy and still have VHS tapes and VCRs.
Good point, but DVDs still can quickly get to the scene they want. What do you say about VHS?
The other thing with video is you can put the tape in, and then if you want to go and make a cup of tea, you could stop the tape and it would save it where you are.
But that's the same with DVD.
The other thing with video is you can eject the tape from the machine, and then say you could go to another room, you could put the tape into a different machine, and the machine will find where you got up to on.
Okay, that's a very good point and something I'd never thought of. But one thing that's still not sure about is, say I'm in my house or I'm in my classroom and I use the same machines, isn't it quicker to find a point in a film using a DVD than using a VHS?
Yes, you do have a point there, but it depends on what sort of VHS VCR you've got. If you have a VCR that's got 100 mile an hour running speed and fast forward running speed, you can get the tape to the right point. But if you have the picture on the telly screen, it'll run, but it won't run as fast if you don't have the picture on your telly screen. Then the tape will get up to the right point where you want it, because it also helps with the counter, because then you can tell if you've got like for an hour of the tape, you can get it up to an hour.
Okay, good point. So the next thing, one of the things people say is DVDs are stronger and more robust than VHS or videotapes. What have you got to say to that, Josh? Go.
Yes, you do have a point there, but the thing is with DVD is it easily gets scratched. The other thing with DVD is if it's not looked after properly, they can get very scratched and damaged. But with VHS, because the tape is under a protective flap, no one can pull the tape out.
Okay, well, I'm not quite sure I believe you that nobody can pull the tape out, because I remember growing up with my brothers pulling the tape out and tying each other up with the tape, Josh. But we'll move on. What's in this picture?
In this picture, you see a inside of a VCR. This is how the machine works. this was a brilliant technology when it first came out.
Okay, so yeah, I agree. Back in the dark ages, it probably was good technology, but isn't it old technology now, Josh? Haven't we moved on, and shouldn't we move with the times and use new technology?
I don't agree with you, but I'm going to tell you why. I don't think it's very pointless to throw the tapes away. If they still play and you have brilliant picture quality and brilliant sound, then I still think you should keep your VHS tapes. Don't throw it away if you don't need to. I go to the tip with Mr. Crab to take cardboard, plastic, and old more technology. I find that it's very sad to see these old machines just sitting there and not being used if they still work. I'm going to give you an example, okay? I find that the old computers' CRT screens are actually better quality than flat screens. I'll give you the reason why. The reason is because they contain halogen tubes. With LCD flat screens, they are LCD and they burn up more electricity. With CRT screens, they are much more better picture quality than.
Good point, Josh. So you're saying if you take care of VHS and if you know how to repair it, they can last for a long time, like an old car can keep going. Are VHS easy to look after then?
Yes, it is possible to fix them and it is very easy. What happens is if the tape is flickering on the telly screen, what happens is that means that the tape is loose on the heads. So what you do, you stop the tape, you don't have the picture on the telly screen, you press stop, you take it right to the end. Once it's got right to the end, you take it all the way back again. And then what happens is that tightens the tape up, and you get better picture quality and better sound, and then the tape will play better, and you get better picture quality and better sound.
That was Mrs. Abel there, just leaving the room. Okay, Josh, sorry about that. So, Josh, my last question to you, and I think you've made a very good case, and I'm thinking now maybe I shouldn't buy a DVD player. If a tape accidentally gets broken, with all that tape hanging around, isn't it a right mess in the recycling plant or in the school?
Yes, it's true, but if the tapes do get damaged, for one reason, some people just throw them away, or people recycle them and they remove the tapes and they make, like, say, handbags like in this picture.
So, Josh, what you're saying to me, I think, if I'm right, is that the best thing to do is to not throw them away first if you can. If they get broken, to try and repair them and to keep going. But if they do get damaged beyond all repair, not to put them in a landfill site, but that they can be reused, the tapes can be reused in different and interesting ways. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right, but some people are still selling them. It's like nowadays you can't seem to find the pre-recorded ones that you could usually get, older ones down the line. The other thing is because people are still selling them, but I'm a seller myself, and I'm actually a market trader myself, and I sell videos, and people do buy loads of videos off me. But the thing is, some companies are not making as many pre-recorded videos as they used to back in the old days. The other thing is, loads of, especially TDK, are making loads of blank VHS tapes so you can record on your VCRs, and also they're making loads of cassette tapes as well, and I'm beginning to sell loads of cassette tapes now. On the market stall there is a massive, huge demand for videos and cassettes now.
Well, thank you very much for that, Josh. I think I know the answer already, but I'm going to ask you just to finish this interview off by answering our original question. Josh, is there any point in still using videos?
I hope I've proved to you that there's still a point in keeping them, because they are a fantastic technology